Hey everybody, it's Steve from Wood Window Makeover, the general of the Artisan Army. I've been wanting to talk to you about table saws for a while now because I hear a lot of people asking about them. I see people using them with difficulty, and there's just a lot to know. I think just having the right table saw for our industry is going to put you ahead of the game. Well, if you don't have a table saw, it's really a serious handicap. So what kind do you get? It's a good question. A friend of mine got one, a friend of mine on Facebook got one, Porter Cable brand, cheapy deepy, $149, comes with a stand, and the report is it burned up the same day he put it to work after cutting 5 boards. It literally caught on fire, okay? So, 150 bucks for a Porter Cable just wasn't worth it, you know? Now, that's the cheapy deepy. Then you've got the other end of the spectrum. You know, you've got the big cabinet saws that, like I've got one in my shop that I use, but those aren't easy to move around. In window restoration, to be portable and effective and fast, you have to have something that is easy to move. And, you know, that brings up the question about mobile bases. I used to think that mobile bases were worth the money too, but I finally decided that they were just too big. They actually made the saw too heavy to move around. Yeah, they had wheels and stuff like that, so you can move them around a job site pretty easy, but that did nothing for taking it on and off the truck, you know, for putting it away and all that kind of stuff. You actually have to have a second person to lift the whole table saw assembly up and put it in the back of your truck or your van. So smaller is better, but it's hard to know which saw to get, and that's why I'm talking to you, because for the past 10 years I have settled on, and I have never regretted making this decision, I have settled on the DeWalt DW745 table saw. It's light and portable, strong and smooth, and best of all for me, it has a really small footprint. It's like a little bulldog. It is just so strong and so powerful and smooth. The fence operates smoothly and it's accurate almost right out of the box. It comes with a really nice push stick that's really necessary for cutting small things like parting beads and stuff like that. And I just highly recommend this saw. Now, you can shop around Lowe's and you can see they have all kinds of different choices. They've got a Hitachi, and they've got a Bosch, and they've got a Delta, and they've got that cheapy deepy Porter Cable, and even DeWalt makes a bigger saw with a stand. But you know what? I wouldn't get the stand. I would just get this small footprint saw. You know, get yourself some sawhorses or a table and put it on that, because it is so portable and so easy to use that, you know, I wouldn't get anything else. So I put actually my first DW745 in service about 10 years ago as a dedicated tenoning unit. Yeah, I make tenons for windows on it. That's how smooth it is. I can cut window joinery on this saw. I have a 5/8 stackable dado blade on it. Now, DeWalt says, you know, you're not supposed to put that on there, but I've been running it every single day for the past 10 years, and it hasn't given me any trouble. On that particular saw, my first one, I've actually used it so much that I've worn grooves into the table saw. I used to, you know, I have the sliding jig that I use to push my window part through the saw over and over again, and that sled has literally cut grooves into the table saw, into the table. I actually wore out my first my first little jig assembly, my little sliding tenoning jig, and I'm on my second one now. So that's really important for you to know and understand. So it's just that their saws are that good. So I've got 8 of them now, 8, and they're all set up for different operations in the shop and in my mobile shop, in my little sash factory. So there is one thing I don't like about it, and that is that there's no way included in the saw to lock the blade height up. You know, you have to raise and lower your blade for different operations, you know, to cut through certain heights of wood. But, you know, like you're cutting joinery and you want your tenon to be a certain thickness, you need your blade to stay in the same place. Well, there's no lock for that. And the way that I do it is simply to lock it in place, tie it down with a bungee cord. It's the stupidest looking thing, but man, it works. And sometimes the bungee cord stays on there for months, years, you know, before I move it. So that's the workaround for that. So, you know, when I started this this career, this window restoration career, I assumed wrongly, like most people, that I needed the biggest and the baddest tools available, but it's not really the case. Now, I will say this little DeWalt saw is a bad little table saw. It's nice, but it's not so big that you can't move it. And, you know, I would recommend it to anybody, you know. So this is Steve Quillian. I hope that you will take this advice and use it. I mean, all these other saws are good, but they're just, you know, they're just not very portable. And the trick to getting in and getting out on these window restoration jobs is to be quick and nimble and to be able to get in and get out. And with a big footprint, you know, you just can't do that. So I recommend this saw, and I hope that you do good with it. So this is Steve Quillian in for Wood Window Makeover, the general of the Artisan Army. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and come back often and learn what you can. I'll do everything I can to help you in the business and help you to make cash with Window Sash. Yeah, Steve Quillian for Wood Window Makeover, over and out.